Top 10 Rogue Decks for dear old October 2024. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more on us. And we're going to start off over here with Exodia, the Forbidden One. Yes, the Millennium Ankh deck gets 3 more copies of Ankh, a monster that can put itself onto the field by sending an opponent's card to the graveyard. Isn't that dreadfully awesome that you're having new outs, new consistency upgrades, and an ability to be able to just smash through your opponent with the most ignorant life point smash of all time? Yes, you are actually. That's why I love this deck. Much like the crumbling in the background, that's the power of Exodia's ball. Building to crush your opponent for that 8,000 life points out here. And that's one of the cool things I love about this deck. Consistency, the old theme for our duelist, and it's what Exodia should have been based on the old lore. So I'm incredibly happy about that. Next up is Goblins. Goblins. You know, I find Goblins to be this very interesting deck out here because, you know, while this deck continues to not really generate a lot of craziness, I think a lot of people look at it and they go, hey, Goblins just got this cool new support card. You know, it's effectively it allows you to dodge those pesky hand traps, and it allows you to, you know, do some really cool setups. Yes, it does. That's what Momento's for. I'll talk about Momento here in a second. I think Goblins in the Rogue category get the honorable mention treatment here. I put it on the Rogue category because there are very loyal Goblin duelists out there. They really, really, really are excited for this new support. I just don't think that this support's enough to put them really anywhere crazily near the top. But you guys get the mention here because I'm proud of you. I'm proud that you guys have stuck around and done so well. Momento. Now this is where the Goblin support gets to shine out here. This is where you get to tribute any one of your Memento monsters that's triggered on the field, and you're like, oh, okay, this is really cool. And then you just get to go ahead and do the dodgeroo. Dodge any of those hand traps that your opponent's trying to throw at you. It's kind of ignorant, actually. And I didn't know that having an in-archetype Goblin would give a combo deck like Momento, who has all these moving pieces out here, to get such a crazy boost. Like, it's genuinely pretty impressive. Now, that being said, Shifter's a big major card in this upcoming meta. I don't expect this deck to get a real major chance to show off because of that. It's actually kind of a sad day to actually say that, because I really want Goblins to be good, but unfortunately, I don't see it. Oh, hey, Centurion. I have waited so long to be able to have Centurion get this new Tuner Synchro monster. This new Tuner Synchro monster changes the game immensely out here. The fact that you have this Synchro Tuner now, that you can duality, that's the real thing out here. We have a duality target that we can now effectively use to be able to make some broken cards against, dare I say. You can definitely hear the crinkling in the background. That's the sound of the Centurion monster revving up to synchro. All right, it happens. All right, it's just one of these situations you look at and you're like, hey, duality's really cool. We got a new upgrade. We did get another. I think we got another main deck monster. Don't really care about it because I don't really play it, but I am excited for this. Mermails. Oh, if I'd had any idea how this deck functioned, okay, so when Merl first came out, and we were first on the initial hype train, I did a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Protesting against it. So I would say my opinion's about a month and a half, 2 months out of date for this, because that's the last time I played against this build. But the cool thing that I saw was deck loses to Shifter. Yeah, of course, right? Tell me something obvious. But the rest of the deck shaped up to be this Molin Glacia turbo deck that could build a really strong board and then have whichever of the scale equips that it needed, whether or not it was the monster effect or the spell effect, that it could pull up super easily. Deck also could do Deep Sea Coelcanth plays, which was awesome. I loved that. But Unfortunately, I gotta leave it in Rogue because when one card auto blows out your deck, yeah, and you don't really have consistency on your set. Drron. So Drron gets an incredibly strong mention here from me because this won the first Kong's post Rage of the Abyss tournament. Drron, this build demonstrated some pretty cool combos that I don't think a lot of people really had seen just yet. You know, and you really, when you're dabbling in new combo territory and you're getting the chance to see these ideas actually unfold and the level of power that these combos are kind of providing, it's, to me, very interesting to see those sorts of things. Drron didn't really get anything new, but it did get Secret Village Lock. And having that Secret Village Lock is a lot more devastating than I think people really... Secret Village and Drron. Take a moment to appreciate that and how crazy that actually is in order to kind of punish your opponent. Branded. Yes, Branded has found its way all the way down here into the Rogue section. I know somebody's going to be like, well, Robbie, I think Branded is actually just better. No. The 60 card piles are here. We are acknowledging them. They are doing things. I do not think that they are personally on the scale of the rest of the higher end of the meta. Alright, if anything, this deck truthfully is sitting around 11 or 12 in the top meta section. It's kind of removed itself from the equation for the time being. It's not a bad deck. It's just losing the branded fusions hurt the consistency so much. The fusion duplication value has been dramatically reduced. You can only play one branded fusion, so you're getting one fusion duplication off a game. You know, we have so many hand traps expected to be heading into this format that it's not looking good for decks that are incredibly susceptible to these sorts of things. Infernoid. Now this is, I think, the first good grass deck that we've, besides Brandon, Infernoid's the only grass deck that we really have running around. But Robbie likes more variants. Yeah, sure. Alright, but the thing here is Noid has the Snake Eyes Azamina package. You have an entire tier 1 engine that you can just go, oops, I have access to this? What you gonna do about it? Yes, it is incredibly strong. Yes, but the thing here is the Infernoid cards themselves still set up incredibly big fields. You can still do some stupid extra deck rips. And if, you also have hand rips built into the deck as well. Alright, I didn't say it was fair. I just said, you have incredibly strong tier 1 engines built into your deck. You have to be a rogue honorable mention with the rest of how your deck is playing out. Right? Yeah, of course. And then we have Melodius. We got, Dominus Impulse this set? I don't think you really give a crap too much about, these new hand traps or any of that cool stuff. But Melodius is, it's still here. You have gotten some incredibly cool power-ups. No, you haven't. You haven't gotten anything. The only reason why Melodius is on this list is the last YCS. I still think that in a format where people are still kind of trying to figure out what they want to do, I think that the Melodius cards give you a tremendous advantage. And having Ignorant Yu-Gi-Oh! 101 out here has taught us that bringing a deck that is rogue to an event that people have no idea what they're doing against it gives you sometimes an unfair advantage. That's what it's like to play against Ritual-based, honestly. Yeah, just have this unfair advantage, and you just kind of win the game. Am I doing it right? Yeah, I think I am, actually. And then we have Purely. Build the original, Masterpiece was the original Build the Towers monster, but you have Purely, whose life goal is it wants to set up this boss monster, it wants to roll through its opponent, and you're going to use just Purely cards in order to do it. I think this deck still checks the boxes of being a rogue contender. Alright, there's just something about the way that this deck is. I can't really push it too far off into the corner and forget about it. It's there, staring at you. It's also budget, by the way. So, just because X deck didn't get mentioned here for Rogue, doesn't mean that it's not Rogue. Alright, the Rogue section, I try to rotate the picks and talk about things that have had more recent appeal with impact from future sets, just to kind of see how things are. And obviously when you get into November, you're probably going to be looking at pretty much the same thing here, but who really knows? We'll have to wait and see. So what do you guys think? Please, so comment down below, tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.